What's going on YouTube? It is your girl Lauren Finesse and we are back. I be trying to get this video out earlier than Tuesday. It just don't be working. I watched the episode Sunday twice. Well, I watched half of the episode, and then when I got in the house I watched it from the beginning again. So I watched the first half twice. But whatever, I got notes and we're gonna get into it. But before we get into it, please go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe if this is your first time here. And if this is your second or third time here, I welcome you back with open arms, baby. Okay, look what you're coming back to. Look at all of this I'm giving you something you can feel. Okay. Don't get me started. No, let me stop. All right. Okay, so the episode picks up where it left off last week, which it always does, right? They always leave us on a cliffhanger at a dinner, and then we pick up at the dinner. So where we pick up at is Jossie and Kay going back and forth, and Wendy isn't there, right? She doesn't feel well. So Kay basically tells Jossie, like, I didn't appreciate you kind of reigniting the fire with me and Wendy, because her and I are not in a good place, and you ain't said what I said, so it's kind of hard for me to defend. So now you just look messy. And so I think Jossie says, like, oh, if I told Wendy what Kay said, Wendy would be matched at like an 8.5. And it's just like, it wasn't a bomb drop for me. I didn't think it was that deep. Like, okay, you said that she was a snake and she couldn't be trusted. I mean, that wasn't, for me, it really just was not a big deal. Anyway, so they end that. They say, okay, let's agree to disagree and let's start. We'll talk about it tomorrow. So then Giselle had ordered rounds of shots for everybody, and she called them the shady shots, right? And so the shady shot, whatever she said, it was shady shots. So everybody had like a different shot. So for Ashley, it was Duchess Darby, which should have been Dumbass Darby. Like, I can't stand Ashley. She was the Stacy's was blank again. Whoop-de-doo. And Giselle had like spilt the shots, and it was like mostly Stacy's drink that had spilled, and I was so glad it spilled on Giselle, because why are you still being petty with this lady? Jassie's was stepmama, okay, real shady. And Jassie was like stepmama AF and am and will be. So shout out to Jassie. Tia's was the stylist, because Tia was saying she used to be a stylist or whatever. It was shady. And then she gets to Kay, and Kay's is wait, what was Angel's? Did they do Angel? Was it Catfish? I think it was Catfish. I don't remember. Whatever. Angel is forgettable, and I'm ready to forget about her. Anyway, Kay's was Giselle hater. You're a Giselle hater. So Kay, now this is where Kay continuously loses me. So Kay was like, well, where you get that from? And so Giselle told her, like, well, Wendy told me about y'all conversation and how you was yelling to her that she didn't like me, but she was saying you didn't like me. And that the reasoning was behind, everything that happened seasons ago. This is my whole thing. Kiana, we tired. Okay, girl, you got hit in the head. You got it fixed. I'm tired of talking about it. Okay, I'm tired of that scar being her storyline. Ever since it happened, that has been her storyline. What else is going on? Can we talk about you and Greg? Can we talk about your business? So what else can we talk about? Because I'm tired of talking about this scar on your head. Because Deborah is not even on the show. Okay, and Ashley is still on the show. And you got all this smoke for Wendy. And it's like Wendy is at the bottom of the list of all the people you should have smoke for as it relates to this scar. If that's what we're going to keep talking about. I'm over the scar. I'm over it. You got hit in the head. You got it fixed. It's done. So this is where Kay lost me, though. Kay was like, well, we probably should have, no. Jossie says, well, anytime that Giselle has ever spoken about you, Kay, she's always spoken highly of you. And then Kay says, no, Giselle has not always spoken highly of me. Kay said that. And so then instead of having that conversation, because clearly that's how you feel, she says, well, let's just have this conversation when Wendy is around. And I'm just like, why do you need Wendy? Kay, you a scary ass bitch. And I'm going to tell you why. You clearly have a problem with Giselle, and it comes out later on the yacht. But you clearly have a problem with Giselle, but you are funneling it through Wendy. If you have a problem, which you clearly said at the table when Jossie tried to have Giselle's back, you said, oh no, she doesn't always talk positive about me. Why you didn't speak on whatever that was? Why do you need Wendy? You're fake, girl. Anyway, so anyway, why do you need Wendy there? You're fake. So then, you know, the ladies leave dinner. They all go back to the villas, and they get back to the villa, and, you know, there's this like sort of behind the camera scene of Stacy talking to Ashley and I think Tia or Jassy. And basically, Stacy just says, look, yes, I got divorced. Chris was divorced, Chris Samuels, and we dated. Chris is a good guy. We didn't have sex. Nothing else happened, but yeah, he's a good guy, and we went on a couple dates. The end. Stacy doesn't know Monique. Monique don't know Stacy. They're both divorced. They don't owe each other anything. So Ashley steady trying to like make this be something bigger than it is annoying. All right, the next day, the ladies are going to get up and go on a yacht. And so they're getting ready. Now, Wendy is saying she's feeling a little... Oh. Ooh. Oh, child. All right, so Wendy's saying she's feeling a little bit better. So now Wendy's going to come to the yacht day. And so they wake up, and apparently Stacy had like a, this part was so funny to me. Stacy had like an allergic reaction to something. So half of her lip was swollen. And she was talking to Wendy, and she was like, what? She was like, is it bad? Is it that bad? Is it bad? And Wendy just was like, girl, like, I was cracking up laughing because that is such a real response with your friends. It's like, you not gonna do too much and be like, girl, your lip fucked up. Like, you're not gonna do too much with your friends. But like, girl, yes, it's bad. It's bad, and you know it's bad. Get out of my face. Wendy was like, girl, girl, you know it looked bad. Don't ask me no silly questions. So anyway, so they ended up going to the boat. And so then when they get to the boat, Giselle was like, okay, remember yesterday we said we want to have this conversation with Kay, myself, and Wendy. Let's have a conversation. So they get to having the conversation, and basically Wendy is like, yeah, you got a problem with Giselle. You absolutely said that. So then Kay explains how she expected more from Giselle when the incident happened. And Giselle is like, oh, baby, you're crazy. You're crazy, you're needy, and you're not cool, okay? When that happened, she said, firstly, I wasn't even there for the altercation. I left my event, got on a plane to go see my dad in the hospital for him to have brain surgery. And when I went to go, and while he's recuperating from the brain surgery, he has more complications and then passes away. So no, at no point in time during that whole thing were you on my mind. No, I didn't follow up with you. No, I wasn't like, oh my God, are you okay? Because my father was passing away. Like that's what I was focused on, you know? And so Kay is like, she's kind of receiving it, but she was like, oh, I expected more and I thought we were friends. And Giselle was like, look, I do think of you as a friend, but my father was passing away. So no, I'm sorry, but I don't know what else you needed from me in that time when I was the one going through something extremely traumatic, as far as like losing a parent. She was like, you know, you got plastic surgery for that scar. My father is no longer here. We're not comparing the two. And I understood Giselle. And then Tia kind of steps in, and Tia was like, you know, I also lost my father 8 years ago, and I understand what Giselle is going through. Now, I thought it was weird that Tia was like, oh, it's going to take her like 3 years to get over it. Like, girl, go see. Tia crazy. But okay. And so then Kay then flips it on Wendy and was like, and you don't like Giselle. You called Giselle a snake in the grass, da da da. And Wendy was like, and I told her that to her face. And then Giselle was like, yeah, she told me that to my face. Once again, Kay, you're backed into a corner and you don't know which way to go, so you just go to Wendy. It's you, babe. You're the one that's been a bad friend. I understand Wendy having maybe some distance or space in between her and the ladies because of what she's been through on this show. I understand that natural wall. Then you and her are supposed to be friends, but you come in being very buddy-buddy with Giselle and Ashley and maybe some people she's not quite feeling. And so maybe she did put up a little wall with you. But once y'all talked about it, the second time, the third time, the fifth time, the 10th time, once y'all continue to talk about it, What else do you want, Kay? What else do you want? Even the situation with Giselle, what do you want? This woman is going through her father passing away from cancer. She's in the hospital. He's in hospice. Like, what else do you want, girl? I could not be friends with somebody like Kay. I just couldn't. Because, girl, life be lifing. Y'all know my favorite saying, life be lifing. I don't have time. I don't have time, babe. I'm sorry. I don't have time. So anyway, they go back and forth. They have a fun day on the yacht. That's that. That's all. So, now they leave the yacht. Now they're like getting food or whatever. So now they're sitting down. And the night before at the restaurant, the guy that owned the restaurant, Mr. Sunshine, I think that was his name, you know, I guess he was flirting with Jassy. And so Tia had made a comment like, oh, you know, Brian, I think is Jassy's fiance named Brian, whatever his name is. She was like, oh, I think he got some competition. Mind you, that is exactly what tongue-in-cheek is. She was just being silly. And so now Jassy goes into Tia. Mind you, the conversation came up because Tia was pointing out how Jassy wronged her. Tia says, so you know, at the table the other night, when they were talking about how Angel was being a catfish, you stopped me and was like, oh yeah, I think yours are heavily filtered too, which was rude. I did catch the shade from Jassy. Jassy was doing too much that night. But Tia says, you came at me sideways, so that prompted me to go look at your pictures. And baby, you be heavily filtered too. You be filtered down. You be airbrushed up. And Jassy then proceeds to just get so angry. Don't even play with me, Tia, because you just act like you don't know what's going on. And she tried to do her accent, right? And Tia was like, whoa, why are you getting this aggressive? Why are you getting this mean? And then like, why are you coming for my accent? Like, whoa, like where's all this coming from? And Jassy's like, listen, bitch, because you know I'm getting married in 13 days. And you were saying that man was coming on to me and that Brandon, whatever, something would it be. And you were saying that he had competition. And everybody is looking like, girl, wait, what? What is this what you're upset about? Because this is the thing. And I was with Kay. Now, here is where I was with Kay. Kay said, girl, Mr. Sunshine got 2 teeth and 2 dreads. He is definitely not in competition with your fiance, your NFL fiance. Like, girl, why are you doing all of this? And you so mad and you pointing fingers and like, girl, it just never gave that Tia was being serious. She was just teasing you, being tongue-in-cheek. It definitely was not that deep. So I think Jassy realized that everybody was looking at her like, girl, you doing too much. Like, you need to like pull it back a little bit. Because it was just too much and it was over the top for no reason. So then she says, so then her and Tia, they kind of make up, they laugh. And Tia was like, oh, I didn't like how you did my accent. And she's like, oh, I'm just playing. I like Tia. Tia is that girl. Like, she's fun. She seems like she's fun to be around. I can agree that I'm tired of her acting like she don't be knowing what's going on. Because she has American teenagers and an American husband living in her house. But I still like Tia. I do like Tia. So anyway, when the ladies leave, they go back and now the cameras are down and they're taking the golf cart back to the villa. So when they're on the golf carts, you see off to the side, Angel and Jassy talking. And you just hear Angel like, yeah, she got stringy hair, that's snaggle too, bitch, and she don't look and da-da-da-da. And so Stacey was like, I think somebody was cheating with Bobby. That's Angel's husband's name is Bobby. She was like, I think somebody was cheating with Bobby. I'm not sure. But she was like, I think something happened with Bobby and some girl. I don't know. Because, right, they weren't mic'd and they weren't being filmed. But they were still being filmed and still being recorded. And so, anyway, that's them. They're going back and forth. So, now they get back to... now they get back and they're going to change because they're going to have slut night, a.k.a. a bachelorette party for Jassy. And all of the ladies are supposed to come in their slut gear. And Wendy had me down again. So Wendy had on like this pleather, like sexy outfit with the glasses. And she was calling herself the slutty professor. I said, yes, ma'am, the slutty professor. I loved it. Here comes Stacey coming out with like from like Amsterdam, like a maid outfit on, like a German outfit, like from Oktoberfest. You know how the girls dress? The waitresses dress for Oktoberfest. So they have like the low cut scoop neck top and the skirts. That's what Stacy had on. It definitely wasn't giving slut, but I understood where she was going with it. She didn't look bad. She didn't look bad or whatever. And so Wendy was like, Stacy is giving international slut. I'm giving just local slut. I said, okay, come on, international local slut. Ashley's costume, she called herself an astronaut. No, but you were just a slut. Like, your costume, it was not an astronaut. You were just a slut with barely clothes on. Nothing about that outfit gave astronaut or astronaut. Nothing about it, just gave slut, period. Giselle was like the ringleader, like a circus ringleader, and baby Giselle, the body was bodying. I'm not gonna lie, Giselle, the body was tea. The body was looking good. I said, come on, Giselle, come on, empty nester. It's giving body yada yada. Okay. Who else? Tia came modest. She's like, oh, I'm not gonna show too much. This is the outfit. And Giselle was like, are you gonna take it off? Because she had on something sexy, but she had on a black robe over it. And she's like, no, I'm very modest. I'm modest. I'm not gonna take it off. Terrible accent. Sorry, don't look. So anyway, and then Kay was a cow, and Angel was an angel. Kay and Angel are just wet blankets. I really could do without it. So anyway, so the ladies are playing games. They got the penis straws. Let me tell you something. For me, don't give me no penis straw. I'm sorry. I don't want to do a penis straw. And if I ever have a bachelorette party, I want women strippers. I don't want no man with no... I just don't want it. With a penis straw, I don't want it. Y'all could keep it. So anyway, they're having fun. Everybody is kind of taking turns with Jossie. Like, Stacy gets up with her whip and she's like, I'm gonna give you a whip German style, very accurate and sexy or whatever. It was funny. It was cute. Ashley had a chocolate pen and she went and drew a letter or something on her, and then she licked it off. When I tell you, I was uncomfortable watching that because I was like, I don't think we should be watching this. Like, it felt like a private moment. Jossie was all the way into it. Ashley was all the way into it. And the ladies were sitting around like it was given, this is a private moment. Have y'all done something before? And will y'all be doing something later? Because I don't know. It seemed very private. Okay. Now it is Angel's turn. And so Angel picks up the pink cuffs because they had like a table full of trinkets. Like I said, Stacy had the whip. Ashley had the chocolate pen. I think Wendy had a paddle. Angel got the pink cuffs, and so she puts the cuffs on Jossie, and Jossie says, well, what am I being arrested for? And she says, for having a big mouth. And so Jossie was like, yeah, I got a big mouth, that's why I'm getting married or whatever. So everybody started laughing, but you could tell like something is off. Angel is clearly bothered. She's pissed. Now I'm going to give Angel a little bit of leeway, because what ended up coming out was apparently somebody DM'd Jossie, and they were saying how Angel is a mean girl, which I believe, and that Angel isn't very nice, and Angel is a bitch. And that's what she was telling her on the golf cart on the way. I can understand hearing something like that and it changing my mood, because I don't know, y'all, it's uncomfortable. So I'm going to give her a little bit of credit, but it's like, girl, at the end of the day, when she explained what happened, and we'll get to it, but when she explained what happened, it was just like, okay, and this is why you're upset. Her and Kay just want to be mad. They want to commiserate. They want to be angry. They just want to be upset. And people that want to be upset, misery loves company. Let them to accompany each other over there, because baby, we don't want to do it. So anyway, so Jossie do this like double jointed trick, child. She had her hands cuffed behind her back, and she did a thing and pulled them to the front. Ugh, her bones was cracking. Everybody was like, ugh. And so they were like, okay, well, Angel, you seem like really upset. Like, what's tea? Like, what were y'all talking about on the golf cart? And so that's what Angel says, like, well, some years ago, I had a friend, and that friend basically told Bobby's agent that I had stole $30,000 from him, and that I wasn't taking my birth control, and I was trying to trap him and get pregnant. And so there was some type of conference call with Bobby's agent, with Bobby and his lawyer. Like, it turned into a whole thing, basically, because the girl went and said something. Now, mind you, this was supposed to be Angel's friend. So, yeah, I don't know why you and the girl fell out. But, okay, Angel, yeah, you did. You stole $30,000. I was with Ashley on this one. The one time I was with Ashley, and I was cracking up laughing because I was like, yes, ma'am. Ashley said, baby, it don't matter if you stole that $30,000 from Bobby. He still married you. He still married you. Even though you stole that $30K, he still married you. So why does it matter? It's not like y'all broke up and y'all broke bad. You still got married. You still had children. So it's kind of like, girl, why are you so upset about it? You won. The girl was talking shit. I don't know her situation, but you won. And you on Housewives. Girl, where is the pity party coming from? Because you're doing well. You're doing well for yourself. Like, give yourself a pat on the back. You came out on the other side of it victorious. Right? So anyway, so she's telling Jassy, like, oh, you got a big mouth. And so Jassy was like, look, somebody reached out to me and said this. She said, I just was telling you because the way that they were describing you as being mean and nasty is not the person that I've been getting to know. So I just was letting you know, like, this is what someone told me. And everybody's like, look, she pulled you to the side when the cameras and the mics were off. Like, she could have brought it to you in front of the group and really embarrassed you. She could have been telling people behind your back before it got to you, okay? Ashley has done a lot of that in a lot of seasons, right? Bringing people's mess and telling everybody behind their back. She could have done this 30 ways from Sunday. Instead, she pulled you to the side when cameras and mics were off to let you know, like, hey, girl, this is what the streets are saying about you, and I'm just sharing it because I'm getting to know you, and this is what somebody told me about you. Why are you upset? So Angel isn't getting the reaction that she wants because she wants a pity party. She wants to be the victim, the perpetual victim. And the ladies were like, girl, when did this happen? She was like, oh, 2016. They was like, 2016? Girl, you done got married and had babies since then. Why are you mad? So Angel gets up and she walks outside. She goes and calls Bobby and she's just like, I just wanted to hear your voice. Now, she doesn't bring it up to Bobby, but she's basically having a pity party and she wanted her husband to coddle her. Fine, we get it. So then Kay comes outside and she's like, no, I'm fine. She's like, I'm just tired. And so Kay was like, yeah, I get it. And then Giselle comes outside. And Giselle's like, oh, wait, she's on the phone with her husband. Oh, okay, well, So Giselle backs off and goes back in the house. She's like, oh, she on the phone with her husband? Okay, cool. But Kay stays out there like, no, but are you okay? Are you okay? She's like, I'm just tired. And she's like, I get that. But you got tears in your eyes. And she's like, we'll talk about it later. Like, I'm on the phone with Bobby. We'll talk about it later. So Kay goes back inside. And Wendy is like, look, why is it everything we say to this girl, she thinks somebody is attacking her? Like, we're just having conversations like this. Your own housewives, basically, is what she wanted to say. Baby, this is a show, Real Housewives, and we're just having regular conversations. Like, nobody ain't really came at her, okay? Because we really could come at her. And she was like, Jassy pulled her to the side. How else should Jassy have handled it? Like, it's like she wants to be mad. She wants to be upset. She wants to be a victim. We're tired, okay? If all of that is going to continue to go on, baby, just go home. We tired. We don't want to do that. So, that kind of ruins the night. It puts a damper on the night. And Giselle was like, we're supposed to be getting drunk. And Wendy and Ashley supposed to be in a corner kissing somewhere. Like, that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be having a good time. And here come Angel. Here come Kay. Wet blankets. Sticks in the mud. Just faces always turned up. Looking for a problem. Looking for an issue. And that's kind of where the episode went off. This was a good episode. Like I said, Housewives of Potomac have been coming with it this season, especially after the past few seasons that have been so contentious with the viewers. They have really stepped it up. Giselle is acting like a housewife. Wendy is acting like a housewife. Ashley is still getting on my nerves. But this episode, she was funny. And then you have the newbies that are just like flopping. Like, not Tia, and Jossy's still a fairly new newbie. But we'll take her. But Angel and Kay, y'all are exhausting. Oh, and Stacey, we love Stacey. But Angel and Kay, y'all just want to be mad about everything. And Wendy is always the blame. And child, I'm tired of hearing about Kay's scar. Let me say this. Angel could very well be still in postpartum, having postpartum depression symptoms. She could still be very much deep in the postpartum because she is just crying and she's very emotional about everything. And as a woman, I absolutely sympathize. But baby, you came to this show, you knew what it was, and how she's acting now. Like she was just on what happens live, and you know, her presence online still like pretending to be that girl but not really feeling it. It's kind of like these two things are not matching, and I understand the season has wrapped and you know it's a new day, but I could 1,000% believe that Angel is a ex mean girl turned insecure itch, okay? Because it's just, I don't know, she just got a lot going on and it's a chop. She could be released. We don't need to see her no more. I know it on paper she looked like she would have been a good housewife, but I ain't with it. So let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode. I thought it was good. Sun's out, buns out, and I will see y'all in the next one, which is gonna actually be about this hair, okay? Because I'm going 30 inches to at least to the end of the year, okay? 30 inches 1B, period. All right, y'all, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.